Okay, so here we're going to talk about dividing by fractions and illustrating that concept to explain how the procedure works and to prove that it works. So the first thing that you would do was review division in general. I hope I said dividing by fractions. But what you would ask yourself here is say, okay, when we divide, we have 6, and we're dividing it by 3. Our question is, how many 3's can we make out of 6? Or how many 3's do we need to add up to 6? And the answer is 2. And we can illustrate with that with concrete manipulatives if we need to. Then we have the same question when it comes to dividing by fractions, which is why we want to use it when we're doing basic division too. So we want to say, okay, I have 1/2, here's my 1, just as a reference point as what we're working with. I have my 1/2 divided by 1/4. And what I want to ask is, how many 1/4 do I need to add up to 1/2, or how many fourths can I make from 1/2? And then you can see here very clearly that I can make 2 1/2 from, I can make 2 1/4 from 1/2. So the question when you're dealing with a larger fraction being divided by smaller fractions is, how many can I make? Now, when you're dealing with a smaller fraction, here 1/6 being divided by a larger fraction 1/2, you're asking, how much can I make, right? How much can I make of this 1/2? And what you can see here is we have the 1/6, and I can make 1 out of 3 equal parts. So I can make 1/3, right, of this half. Now, you can do this with the standard procedure, and you can say, look, it works. For example, you can say, okay, I have 1/6. What I'm going to do is, and I'll go into another video about explaining why this works a little bit more clearly, but you're going to say, I'm going to work with the reciprocal here, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, and so I'm going to say 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 6 is 6, and that is 2/6, which can be simplified by each one by 2, and you get 1/3. Right, which is what we just proved over here, that 1/3 of a half is 1/6. We can go back over here again and also prove it. We can say, look, that this way of doing the operation gives us the same result. Because your goal is ultimately to get rid of the manipulatives, you just want to use them to illustrate the concepts. So we have 1/2, and we're going to flip it, multiply by the reciprocal, 4/1, and we're going to have 4/2, which is equal to 2. So obviously there's steps for them to understand that procedure, but this is how you can illustrate those concepts using your fraction tiles.